is scary old Pappy. Today I'm going to talk about Spirit Halloween's Eternal Rest tombstone. This tombstone, if you have one, it's either broke or it will be broke sooner or later. Today I'm going to show you how to fix it and to fix it permanently. So, let's get started. Eventually, these things break. And when they you can see, if you've got one of these, you know what I'm talking about. They break. Eventually they break. I'm going to show you how to fix them. This is terrible. Okay, so your eternal rest is broke, just like mine. We're going to go in and show you how to fix it. This is not going to be an easy repair. It's going to require special tools and material and skills. So let's get at it. I've removed the head, stored it on the tombstone, and now I'm going to remove the control panel. That's this black box on the back, held on by 4 screws, number 2 Phillips. We're going to pull that off next. I'm not getting a dime for this endorsement, but I just want to let you know that this hammerhead electric screwdriver that is designed primarily for people that do finish electrical on homes is amazing. It's like my favorite tool for working on these animatronics. Saves my wrist a lot of work. You'll see. I've removed the control panel mounting screws, and now we're going to disconnect the wires and remove it and have a look inside, see what broke. Those are the 2 pieces that have broke. One of them, the black square piece, that is part of the cylinder that rotates the head, and it is the stop. It trips micro switches, causing the head to go either left or right, to spin around. The other little part that is metal, and this terrifies me, that is part of one of the micro switches. You'll see in a moment. This is the top of the transmission that rotates the head back and forth. The 4 screws that you see on the outside of the ring, those are what holds the transmission in the tombstone, and we have to remove those and pull them out. With the transmission removed, we're going to have to pull those 3 screws. They're also number 1 Phillips. And that way we can pull it apart and get that round tube looking thing, that cylinder. That is what we got to get out of there. And if you notice, the wire is all wrapped up in there. That is the wire for the lights on the skull. Oh. I'm looking straight down the barrel, and you can see 2 micro switches. The micro switch with the blue wires is perfect. The micro switch with the orange wires, the little arm is missing. That little arm is right over, where is it? Right over there. Now it needs to be straightened and clipped back on. I believe I can do that. It's not broken, it's just come undone and needs to be straightened and put back in. We're going to be pulling off that micro switch and putting that on in just a second. Now that you've straightened the little arm on the micro switch, put it back together and mounted it back to the transmission housing, we're going to test it and see that it works with a multimeter. We're going to put it on ohms right there, that is ohms. And by putting this on the lead ends, we can touch that. And if it works, that meter's going to go across like that. Using the alligator clips, I've clipped them to where the wires attach on the micro switch. You can see the meter there. So if we take and put this screwdriver in there and we move it, and you notice the meter went. So we are good. We are good. It is repaired. Yay. Now we got to go to the hard part. This is the part that most of them are going to be the problem, and it's the hard part of the repair on this. You'll see as we get it apart. We're now going to pull the three screws that you can see on the top of this unit, one being there, one being there, and one being there. We're also going to pull this motor mount screw and pull the motor out so it's not in our way with the gearbox. One thing I want to make clear is there's 6 screws. If you notice, they're all the same type and size, but one is longer than the other. The 4 long ones, that's these right here, they're the ones that hold this transmission together. And now with the transmission apart, you can see just how those micro switches are mounted and how the cylinder, when it was in there, pushed with the little plastic piece, which I'm going to show you, pushed and made it go forward and back. With the top of the transmission removed, you can see the gears. You can also see that cylinder going up. It's attached to the large gear. The motor slips down into that little round area right there, and that's where the screw holds it on, so that it can drive the belt on the other side and make all this turn. Simply pull the gear from the cylinder and place that over in the transmission. It only fits onto the cylinder one way, so you don't have to worry about marking anything or how it goes back together. If you look closely, you can see where that little black piece broke away from the cylinder right there. I could not find anything that would glue it, so we're going to replace it with a piece of aluminum. This is where it's going to become tricky and where the skills are going to have to come in. This is a 1/4 by 1/4 inch thick piece of aluminum. We're going to have to cut it, drill and tap and cut it to the shape that we need to go and screw on to where that was. This is where it becomes fun. The screw that you're looking at is a 440. That is the thread size, and you can get them at any hardware. And that is what they call a socket head. That's the one I suggest. You'll see as we get on with this. So let's go have some fun. Because this is such a small hole, we're using a drill press and a drill press vise to keep everything straight, because we're gonna need it. And then we'll do the tapping next, and then we move on to the next stage. Okay, I've started the tap, and don't forget to use cutting oil so that you get nice threads and you don't ruin the tap or break it off inside. Okay. I forgot to mention the drill size for that 440 tap is a 3/32. Now you want to use aluminum brass, copper, bronze, any of those. Don't use steel. Steel is too hard. Chances are you would break the tap off in the steel and then you'd have to start over. But here we are. This is our next phase is coming up, is to shape that piece of aluminum into the piece that has to be in that cylinder. If you look closely, you're going to see little scrapes in that plastic tubing. That is where the micro switch trip arm scraped onto the plastic. The end of the replacement stop that we're making is going to have to be right at this mark right here. And I think we're going to be able to go a little more this way, but that's really where it has to stop. Right in that area, right there. Because when it shoves through the plastic housing, it comes through and has to have clearance so it can rotate around on that stop. You'll see when I get it on there. I've placed masking tape on the tube and marked it where those grooves were made by the micro switch trip arm. I've also marked the center between there. That's where we're going to drill a 1/8 inch hole, which is what's needed for the screw to go through. I ran the 1/8 inch hole all the way through the cylinder. Whoa. That way you can get the Allen wrench in there. You can see the Allen screw in there, and the Allen screw can go through where it made that little bit of a hole there, and that's not misaligned. That's the way this thing is made. That is off to the side. I also enlarged that hole where the wires go through to light up the lights, to give power to the lights in the eyeballs on the skull. Now the big thing is we need to start drawing some lines, doing some hacksawing, cut that down a bit, because it's got to be at that line, and also cut it down the length that it is. And we're also going to do a little filing to make it a little bit thinner. And the reason is that this repair, while it's going to make it now permanently fixed and workable, it is not going to align up on the tombstone the same way. It's going to be a little bit off on both the woman's head and the skull head when it turns. But at least it's going to work. So let's do it. This gap has got to be widened up. And the gap I'm talking about is right there. This has to be filed to where it's wide enough for that new stop to go through. Very, very important. This stuff's very delicate. Take your time. Don't rush. There it is. It's a lot of hand filing, a lot of shaping, a lot of everything. It's a lot of work. It should pay off. It's not perfect, but at least the thing will work. We'll see. At this point, we're ready to put it together and dry test it and see what happens. I think it's going to be fine. We'll find out. Okay, kids, there we have it. Sorta. It will rotate now and shut off. As you see, there's the micro switch, and it will also, it's hard to do this. It will rotate around and hit there. There we go. See, there's there. And there's... Time to install the motor. To do this, take the motor, see that little diode? You want to line that up with where the mounting screw goes. That's that little screw hole there, which you remember it from taking it apart. So we put that in there, and we move this around until it lines up. It pops in the little holes in the bottom. Can't see them because of my big fingers. But it's all lined up. It can't move. And now we got to run the screw. So now I'm going to put the camera down and we're going to run the screw. With the motor being secure, now we got to run this wire right here through that square hole that I made square so I could get the thing in there. It doesn't matter which end, both ends are the same, and that'll give you your lights to the eyeballs on the skull. So I'm going to run that in there. With the wire installed, the last thing we have to do is install the top of this transmission, and we will be ready to test it. We will test it without it being put in the tombstone. You'll see. The last thing I've done is put the belt on, and that's a new belt that I'm putting on. The other one was a white milky color thing, and I bought one of those kits from Spirit Halloween that's got all the belts in it and gears and stuff, and I found the right size, and so it should be like new. I'm going to set this thing up, plug it into the control board, soundboard, whatever you want to call it, and put in the transformer, and we're going to watch it run. Okay, here's our test. I jury-rigged up a plug. And there it goes. Oh, look, it moved. It moved. And it went back. Went back. There we go. We'll do it again. I don't know if you could see that or not. Okay, let's put this thing together and see what it looks like. First thing we're going to do now is install the motor, the transmission. Here it is. Okay, we got it. Got to have all the wires dangling in there. Let's see, there's one more. Yep. That goes to the skull. They all got to be in there. They all got to be good. Don't want any pinched wires. And then this lines up with that hole right there. Okay? So, I'm going to take a look under here. We can kind of see all the wires. Get all the wires out of the way. Okay, I'm going to set down the camera and button this thing up. Okay, now let's hook all the wires up to the control panel, button the control panel on, and give her a go. With all the wires connected, ready to put the 4 screws in that hold the control panel in. So we are just about there. There we go. And then we're going to set it together and see what happens. Well, there you have it, boys and girls. If you notice, it doesn't line up perfect. But that's okay. It's working. And it's going to work longer than I'm going to live. So you guys have a... Yes, it doesn't line up perfect, but it does work. And that's the thing that is the best part of this. And you don't have to worry about it breaking again. It's not going to. It was a tough one. But if you got the skills, you got the tools, you can make it. And you can make it happen. And it's not going to break anymore. I'm very happy with this repair. I hope it's helped you. If you have any problems, contact me, and I will answer any questions if I can or help you out. Have a good one. Bye. Still working. Still working. Imagine that. Imagine that it hasn't broke. Still working. Here's a long shot. Still working. Hasn't broke. It's because it's fixed. It's fixed permanently. Well, this is scary old Pappy. Have a great Halloween. Ha! Still working. Scary old Pappy here. This is a postscript on eternal rest, the tombstone. This tombstone is worth fixing. You're not going to get any help from Spirit Halloween or their zombie doctor or the manufacturer. You're just going to have to fix it yourself. It's going to take some skill. It's going to take some tools. And if you got the skills and the tools, you can fix it. It's a great prop. I also wanted to add that I did take and paint in the letters and numbers on the tombstone so that you can read them at night. I also did a little more aging on them so it looked better. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. Instagram, Scary Old Pappy. I'll try to answer any questions that you have. Anyway, good luck and have a great Halloween. Bye.